Welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. So we'll be learning how to make this beautiful dress. So I already have my fabric cut already. So this is what I cut. I went ahead to cut out the lining. And this is the back part. I also went ahead to cut out the lining. And this is the back area, the back part. I just put them on each other for me to bring out the zipper allowance. So this is the zipper allowance. I just mark out 1 inch for zipper allowance on the back part. So as you can see, I make the length of the zipper to be 22, and I have just 1 inch allowance for it. After that, I will go ahead and mark out my darts on the trouser part and on the upper part of the back area. So for the trouser parts, I mark out 5 for the length of the darts. And this is the organza I'll be using for the upper part of both front and the back area. So this is the back upper part. I've placed it on the organza. I'm going to cut it out, but I'll cut it out double, and I will not cut exactly this from the down part. So I will add up like 1 inch for sewing allowance and to join the neck. I'll fold my organza again and cut the second part, because I'll be cutting each of these two so that I can use to turn the neck. You can see, so I have 4 pieces of organza, and this is the front upper part, and I've also cut it out. Then I'll go ahead and cut out my sleeve, since we'll be using organza for the sleeve also. So I just folded my fabric in 4, and I placed the already drafted sleeve that we have already. You can check the previous video where I show how to draft this sleeve. So what I just did, there was nothing special I did there. I just increased the length with 5 inches. Then the upper part, which is this part that will enter the armhole, I also increased it. You will see exactly while I'm cutting it. While I was cutting this organza, I didn't know the camera was not really showing everything. So what I just did there is increasing the length and also extending the wideness, the width. So this line you're seeing now, I just took it down straight, and I made the length additional 5 inches. And this upper part that will enter the armhole, I just increase it exactly the way you are seeing it. So I just took my scissors and cut it out, and this is how I'm going to gather this on this part and also gather it down part. I'll show you exactly how to make it while making it. So this is the trouser part. This is the front part of my trouser of the pants, exactly the way we place it while cutting. So I'll just do it like this and place on the machine and sew straight, exactly the way you see me doing it. And this is what I have after I'm done. Then this for the back part, I'll also do the same thing I did for the front, also stitch it straight. This is the flap area. I'm going to sew it straight exactly, and this is what I have after I'm done. Though I'll still open up the center back while I'm putting my zip. So before I do that, I will proceed by taking my darts, and you can see I just from the center part, I came out 4 inches and take it down 5 inches. So that will mark out. I'm going to stitch that part for the darts. So this is the dart part. I'll do the same thing for the other side too. And this is it while I'm done doing that. So I'll place the right part of the pants on the back part. As you can see, the back part is bigger than the front, which is normal. And I'll stitch it side by side, ensuring the right side is facing the right side. And this down part, I'll also place it, ensuring those flap area that I stitched together now is joined together, is aligning. Then I will stitch it together. So this is exactly what I just explained. And this is the side of the trouser. I'll stitch it, hold it up about 1 inch from each side, but I'll not just start from the beginning. I left like about 2 inches off, which will make it more comfortable for me while I want to join the upper part of the dress. So the second side too, I'll still do the same thing, stitching it with about 1 inch straight to the bottom part of the trouser or the pants. And this is the center part, the same thing I did. And for the down part, I just sew it with 9 inches. You can see my tape roll on it now. I just stitch it 9 inches and ensure I'm sewing it straight with 1 inch straight down. You can see. So this is what I have after I'm done doing that. And this is the upper part. Remember I said I didn't start stitching from the beginning. And this is the front part. I've gone ahead to iron my stay on it. This is really optional, but if you do this, it gives a nice structure to your fabric. And then I went ahead to mark out the bust points and my under bust after I glue the stain on it, so that I can use this mark to cut out my wadding or the breast pad. So this is me. I just place the center front on my breast pad. You can see the line. So the line, though the line is a bit faint here, but I actually wrote the line exactly the way what I have on my fabric. So I use pen to mark it out after I already glued the stain on it. And this is me just trying to draft out the breast part, the wadding, for the center front of the dress. So from the upper parts, I came down 1 inch on both sides. I don't want my part to start from the beginning. It won't really make sense. So I just came down 1 inch. You can decide to come down 0.5. You can decide to make it 1 inch. So I'll just cut it out. There are two different ways you can cut out your breast part. You can just fold up your fabric and cut it out, but I just lay it flat on my wadding and I cut it out. You can see exactly how I place it, and that's the way I'm going to sew it. This is the second part I was telling you. You can fold up your fabric and place it on your wadding and just cut it out like this. And you can use the same step or the same method I used to cut mine. So we'll proceed by cutting the sides. So to cut out the side parts, I just folded my wadding in two, making the width to be 4 inches. Then I placed the front side fabric on it. Then I trace out the center part. After tracing it out, I just cut out the wadding. So it's to get the other part of it correctly. You can see exactly how I'm trimming it out to match up with the fabric I have. Then, since I came down from the center part 1 inch, so I'll also come down from the upper parts here to 1 inch, so that when I'm sewing everything it will match up. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll just take my pen and mark that part, the one that is directly to the center part. I'll mark it so that I will not mistakenly place it on the wrong side. Then from the edge I will go in 2.5. Then from the center, exactly where I place my tape rule, I'll go in 3.5. Then from the down parts I'll just go in 2.5. Then I'll connect these two lines together, and that's all for the other parts of the wadding. So as I see how I'm placing it now, you can see that place I marked, so that I will not make mistake of turning it on the wrong side. And I ensure I make the glue part. There's a part of this wadding that has gum, so I ensure that is the part that is rightly placed on my fabric. And exactly the way I'm placing it like this is how I'm going to sew it. So I'll proceed to my sewing machine and just sew it exactly, ensuring the wadding is rightly placed on those parts that I marked my pen, from the bust point to my underbust exactly. So if you are using wadding, if you are using stain on your clothes, ensure you mark out those bust parts that you already have drafted on your fabric while cutting it, so that you know the right place to the right parts to place your wadding. And this is me just joining everything together exactly the way I said, ensuring my fabric is placed right side facing each other. So after I'm done, this is what I have. I'll go ahead and just trim out this excess that I have at the joints of the wadding and the fabric together. So you can see exactly what I have, although this wadding I'm using is a bit soft, not as usual, because I don't want it big padded. So you can see exactly what I have now. I joined my lining together exactly the same way I did for the fabric. So this is what I have now. So this is the organza I'll be placing on the front part of it. I use the front part I cut out from this fabric to cut out my organza, and I cut it double. Then I used to stitch the neck together and also stop stitch it, and this is what I have. So exactly I place the same organza now on the down part of the front part of our dress. And after I'm done placing it, stitching it together, I also place the lining I already turned together. I also place it on that same point, and I will sew it straight. And after I'm done sewing it straight, I'll still open it up and stop stitch it on the lining. You can see how I'm bending the excess that is inside towards the lining part, and that is where I'm going to stop stitch all through down. And after I'm done stop stitching, I see I didn't turn it to the right side. I just stitch the two sides together. So after I'm done stitching the two sides together, I now turned everything out from the down parts because I didn't stitch the down parts. Later on, when I'm done with the fabric, I'm going to be weaving it. And I ensure I cut out all the excesses I have inside. If you are yet to like this video, please click on the like button. And if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe. Let's grow this YouTube page together. And if you have any question, drop it down in the comment box below. Thank you. Keep enjoying the video. So after I'm done turning it out, I just stitch the down part. And please, when you're doing yours, ensure you give it thorough ironing even after you place your wadding. You can just iron it. It has a glue part you can iron, since you are placing the glue part directly on your fabric. So you can iron it down and use your tailor ends to bring out the bust part, the breast cup area, to bring it out very well. And this is the back part. So this is me just stitching the organza for the back part, and I'll go ahead and just stitch the neck first. I'll do it for the second part also. After I'm done with this, I'll still open it up and stitch it, stop stitch it again. So the side I'm going to be stop stitching now is the part that will stand for my back part. Since organza does not have both front or back, so this side I'm going to be stop stitching. You can see I just went ahead to place it on a paper so that we can see it clearly. So this part now, I'll bend the excess that is inside. I'll bend it towards one side and stitch it all round. And this is exactly what I did for the front part also. Then after I'm done, before I turn it out, I stitch the side, that zipper side, and I trim out the excess I have inside. And after I'm done doing this, I did this for the both side, then I went ahead and turned the organza inside out. So you can see exactly what I have now. Then I will iron it. If you iron it, it's going to look calm and look more beautiful. Then for the down part that is open, I will go ahead now and stitch it together, and I will stitch a little bit of the armhole area, but not towards the neck part. So I will leave small so that when I'm turning the shoulder, I'll be able to turn it well. And this is the down part of the back area. Exactly the same thing I did for the front. I'll place the organza on my fabric, ensuring the front part is facing the front part, and I'm going to stitch it straight. Then I'll take the lining and place it exactly that same way. You can see what I have now. I'll place the lining exactly that same place and stitch it straight also. So after I'm done, I'll just flip both my fabric and the organza one side, and the other inside parts I'll flip it towards the lining, and I'm going to stop stitch it. I will ensure my stitching is just on my lining, and this is what I have after I'm done doing that for both parts on the back parts area. At this point, I just brought back my pants, and this is the front part. So I'll be placing the upper parts that are already stitched together on the pants area, right side facing the right side. And I will do the same thing. Remember when I was stitching the center back of the pants, I said I'm still going to lose it because that's where the zipper will pass. So I will still open it up and join the back part, the upper part of that back. I'll join it with the pants, and this is me just stitching the front upper parts with the pants, the front pants. And then this is the back part. But before I stitch this upper part, this place I turn with the lining, I'll mark out my zipper allowance, which is 1 inch, and from there I'll take it in 4 inches, and I will go inward 5.5. Then I will take it out. I'm doing this so that I can get my dart. So I will insert my dart. I'll just stitch on it straight, exactly the way you're seeing me doing now. I'll do the same for the other side of the back part. And after I'm done, I'll just place it now straight on the pants, the back part of the pants. So I'll stitch it straight. I'll do it for both sides of the back part. And this is what I have after I'm done doing that. So remain for the shoulder part. I'll link my video where I explain how to sew this shoulder part together, especially when you are turning it with lining and you want to sew it without letting the inside show, inner sewing. So what I just did is to open up both the back and the front on the shoulder part and make the front part of the back and the front part of the front on the shoulder part to face each other, and I stitch it towards the back part. I really hope you understand this. And this is exactly what I have. Well, I'm done. And this is the zipper part. I'll go ahead now. I'm fixing my zipper. And when I'm done fixing my zipper, I will take my accurate body measurements now. You can see I placed my clothes on each other too, and what I'm doing now, I'm minusing the zipper allowance from it. So I just place my tape rule after dividing my bust by 2. Also place it on the waistline after dividing my waist by 2. Note that though I have not fixed the zipper, but I ensure that I minus the zipper allowance from what I'm marking out. Now taking out to my, you can see how I place it. So I'm not adding the zipper allowance with the measurement I'm marking out. So this is what I have after I'm done. Joining the back and the front together. The next thing I will do is to join my zipper, and at the center part of the zipper I'll go in 0.5 to enable my zipper lie very well at the back area. So you can see what I have after I'm done, and this is the sleeve. I've stitched in the down part of the sleeve, then I'll be placing the organza now. So this is the down part of the organza too. I'll be placing it at the down part, but I will leave about 5 inches downward. So I've changed the direction of the down part so that when I finish sewing this, I can flip it to the upside, and the sewing part will not be showing. So, and I will sew it on the fabric with gathers, and you can do this in another way. You can just first put your gathers on the organza before placing it on that sleeve part after leaving 5 inches downward. Then when I'm done, you can see what I have when I'm done. I trim out the excess I have there, and I just flip it to the front part where I'm going to be fixing to the armhole, and exactly what I did to the down part, so I'm going to do it here. I'll be sewing it. As I'm sewing it, I'm putting a bit pleating. I'm pleating that side. You can as well use gathers. After putting your gather, just place your organza there and sew it straight. So this is what I have after I'm done, and you can see. So this part now is the part I'm going to be fixing to the armhole of the dress. And guys, that is all for this tutorial. I'm going to be showing us how this looks perfectly on me later in another video. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, leave it in the comments.